I actually thought about sending Patrick Lancaster some money for his stuff like crypto, and then I thought, you know what? Since he's over there and he's basically reporting on the war from the pro-Russian side, I'm like, watch, if I send that son of a bitch $5, they'll fucking hit me with sanctions.
Probably.
Oh
yeah,
I'm don't bring up
He's been covering that shit since like 13.
On what? On Patrick Lancaster?
I ain't gonna take the chance.
What do you got against Patrick Lancaster? Because he produces.
He was
but he shows it raw though. He shows it raw. His shit doesn't come out like all edited and whatnot. He's actually.
Are you kidding?
What happened.
He has a freaking Russian censor traveling with him. Are you joking?
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
I don't.
Give me a
I know
break.
he can't. I know he can't say shit because you can tell by the way he talks. Because he's got, and I don't blame him. They don't want him giving away shit and saying something stupid. But I just appreciate the fact that he's able to get on the ground and move up and take videos and get up close and talk about it. But he'll ask for money to so he can travel around. But I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit because I don't want to get fucked with.
When he said the Ukrainians are the one that bombed that theater in Mariupol and killed all them kids and women, that was the end for me, man. Come on.
I'm not going to say that because that's not going to be proven one way or the other. So I'm not going to put that on him. Somebody killed those people. I don't know who did it. He just reported what he was told.
I think he's not going to stand there. Best.
Well, you know what?
But he's not going to stand there with Russian troops standing around and say the Russians did it. So
yeah. I think he tried his best, but I don't think he can do much more. I mean, he needed the Russian military or the Luhansk or the Donetsk Republic to get access. So there is certain things that he definitely can't say. But I'm sure that he's trying his best to bring as much facts and truth as he can. But there's certain things I'm quite sure. Like there's one video when he was still in Mariupol, when Mariupol is still fighting at the Azovstal. Then he was interviewing some people. Then some of these people that are still living there. Then suddenly there is two young dudes, these young couples that came out, and he was asking, what do you think? Then they say very propagandic kind of things like the Azov battalion are bad and all these things. That is very out of place with the all the old auntie and uncles that he interviewed. It just stands out to me. So I know that there could be certain parts which is not real. There are certain parts that is planted by he's being forced to broadcast it by the Donetsk People's Republic or the Russian Federation. I'm quite sure there is definitely this kind of thing because it's very weird. When you interview people, you see a lot already. Suddenly you have these two young people who are still in Mariupol or just came into Mariupol, and then they'll say very pro Donbass thing or very anti-Ukraine thing. It's just very weird to me. Because
one another thing is like sometimes they would probably say that I guess the Azov was a bad also, but the way the Russians came in, it was way worse than they expected. Sometimes artillery and all to Russian artillery could hit at like sometimes they'll probably hurt civilians. Like obviously it's gonna happen in war and mistakes happen. It could happen too, so maybe they have like other stories and other truths, but overall we just don't really know what really happened during the Azov styles and what they're trying to say. I'm not sure what really happened in there, but I guess you're probably right. There could be more truth to the story right now.
I think another thing is too, if you look at the whole area, Russia, not whole area, even the Balkans and Eastern Europe, Poland, they're all used to living under the Soviet days. So I would imagine that even now with 20, 30 years of so-called freedom and not being under the Soviets, you can tell by the way those people talk. They don't like talking on camera. They don't like saying much. It's like they always like hedge their bets. It's like you're in a completely safe, liberated part of Ukraine that's like not going to be taken back. Like say like right across the border. But you still won't say anything pro-Russian or anti-Ukrainian. You could look at the people, like you said, interviewed in Mariupol or Kherson. It's like things might be getting better. I don't know. We'll see. It's like they don't want to say anything bad because they really don't know what's going to happen until it's all said and done. So I think you're always going to get that from either side. Plus, you got to look at Ukraine. I wonder, obviously Ukraine has real tight control on the media because you think like, in Vietnam, as the casualties got higher, the public turned against the war. And you would think that would be happening in Ukraine. But then again, we don't know what kind of controls the people have. I mean, I'm sure family and friends know who's dead. And you can see the videos of the cemeteries full of flags. But does a guy in Lviv know about a guy down at, you know what I mean, Kherson? I mean, are they really getting a picture of what's going on in the war, or are they just getting the localized, like, hey, you know, all these kids from our town are dead, and that's all they know? They don't know about the kids in the other town and the other town and the other town. So,
yeah, for sure.
like, they can't really get an
You have to ask the same thing about Russia, though.
For sure.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, they can't really get an anti-war or movement going or any kind of push to negotiate because the people really don't know what's going on with their own country, which is kind of fucked up that they won't let them. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a war. You don't want to give away shit, but you would think at some point, since they have internet and phones and shit, that would slowly start to bubble up. But I guess it could be. We just don't know about it because they're not covering it. But it doesn't seem like that feeling has really started to solidify in Ukraine, because I would think at some point people are going to be like, you know, we're not winning, they're not winning. The only thing that's happening is a lot of people are dead and the lines are stagnant. I mean, it can go back and forth here and there. Like I've said before, I think there's a potential that Russia could push through, because I think there's areas that are just so weak and hit that they're just constantly pushing until something gives. And if they can push through, they will. If not, they'll just keep grinding away. But I would just think by now that there'd be a lot more Ukrainians kind of upset and more outspoken. But then again, they might not. If they do say anything, they probably get thrown in jail or sent to the front. So I think that's a lot of it too. That's just that whole culture's been like that since World War II, before World War II, and I think that's just something hard for those people to get over. You know, they don't feel like they can speak their mind or give their opinion because they don't want to get picked up in the middle of the night.
Yes, and this is also, you know, similar to, you know, how I always, you know, in the comments, right, in the YouTube comments, they always say, no, you should go to the front, you should go to Ukraine to report from the ground.
No way.
Then I was Von made the exact point. If you're on the ground, you're even more blind. You can't really know what even happened one street away. For example, I'm living in this street here in Singapore, and there's no war happening. I don't really even know the one street away what the hell is happening over there. So to be on the ground, you know, I think people, the civilians living there, they don't really get a sense of what's happening, especially if internet and communication is all cut off, like what happened in, for example, Anohoda, where the nuclear power plant is. They are very confused. They actually no idea whether Ukraine is strong or Russia will be staying. Like they are in this in between kind of thing where they are not sure where will the Ukrainians be coming to liberate us, or should I just give up and then just go with the Russians? So they are stuck. Because they are at the front line. So that's the reality on the ground, and which is why you know, the concept that, you know, morale is high on the Ukrainian side or the Russian side, both can be true, because no one actually knows what's happening, because you can be fed lies every day. You know, it's like, oh, we are winning, but maybe they are all dying, but no, we are winning. Who knows, man?